It's time to shoot some hoops. Get ready for the thrill. NBA SA is on. Let's see who got the skill. From dunks to three-pointers, we got it all for you. Tune in and join the action. There's nothing else to do. NBA SA, NBA SA, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
We go live in 3, 2.
Yo, welcome to the NBA SA show. It is episode 4, season 4, and the playoffs have officially begun. Gentlemen, have you been waking up early, or you like me watching the games afterwards?
I just haven't been going to sleep.
Wow, you?
I've been getting the early games.
Oh,
Because it's been the weekend, right?
Yeah,
So
true.
they started early.
True.
This week is going to be a test.
In this episode, we are talking all things playoffs. We're going to go through every single combination, the 4 in the East and the 4 in the West, and we talk about where we think they think each team will end up. All of this and a whole lot of kakpraat. Maybe Tim will cry this time. Maybe he'll cry this time. I mean, he's got the t-shirt.
He's got his nipple caps on.
Yeah, and he's also found out that the playing tournament doesn't matter. Get you off to the break. We're back. All right, let's start right at the beginning. Let's go with the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, OKC, that ended the season as the best team in the NBA overall. Kirk, first game, what are your thoughts?
They're going to sweep everybody.
Wow. These are my win straight.
That's what everybody's thinking.
Yeah.
But
And realistically, your thoughts are?
but what I found is the margin of victory in a game isn't sort of a indicator of the overall arc of the series. So just because one team blows another team out, in the next game, the team that lost, generally in the next game, the team that lost really badly will come back and not want to be embarrassed twice in a row.
Yeah.
And eventually it will balance out where each team will get a blowout victory at some point in the series. And it just weird how it works out like that. And I don't think the overall arch of the series gets affected. Well, in this case, it does because OKC is going to win.
Yeah. And that's a lovely synopsis of
your broom out.
Yeah. Kirk just gave us a whole synopsis of every.
I do think Grizz have one game in the Met East. They've got one W in the Met East for the series. Yeah, so
Okay. You want to give your thoughts on this series or the overall series?
This series is done. They might have a win.
Yeah.
A little gentleman sweep.
yeah.
It'll be at home. The next game, they're not bouncing back.
Yeah. You give them 0 chance?
Of the series?
No.
Of
The
the
next
next
game.
0 chance.
Next game? You think
Next
obviously kill them again?
100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Feel the same
So
way?
that's the overreaction.
Yeah.
They have 0 chance in the series.
Yeah.
They have a
I think we can agree there.
sporting chance at one game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
By mistake.
you give them 1, you give them 1.
Will that game be in OKC? Probably not.
Yeah.
So he's 100% right. He's saying it's 0 chance of being the next game.
But the 1 seed versus the 8 seed generally goes that way. Moving over to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Sorry, I think if they had a chance of winning a game against a young team, it would be in that first game.
Mm.
But now that the OKC has gotten you get into a game, you don't kind of feel normal. Your first fall, your first hit, your first whatever it is that you do.
Yeah.
And that first game is where you can have the banana peel, especially as a young team, right? And I think that was it, and they missed that chance, and they missed it by getting their points doubled on them. I think they are done for the Grizz.
I do think that because this OKC team, they underachieved last year because they really expected to make the finals last year. And I think coming up short last year really prepared them to go into this playoffs hungry to make the finals. And I think losing last year actually did them well this time around. And I think I don't think they're going to take any game for granted.
Taking their lumps.
Yeah.
In that case, Grizzle winning nothing.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
This is,
Yeah.
this is not a gentleman's
Yeah.
sweep. This is a sweep.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, we're going full no. Straight up. Cleveland, Miami Heat. Cleveland won game one.
Yeah.
Convincingly.
Same,
Yeah. But of course, in this case, Cleveland are playing against a traditionally really good playoff team, playoff club,
Yes.
almost, right? Tim, your initial thoughts? How many games do you? Well, first of all, you see Cleveland winning, yeah?
100%.
Okay. How many games do you give the Heat? Do you think the Heat have 2 or 3 wins in them?
No, 2 or 3. Absolutely not. There's no chance the Heat are going to win 2 games.
Yo.
No, there is no chance the Heat are going to win 2 games. Absolutely no. And here's the difference between Cleveland and the Thunder. Cleveland have older, more experienced players. They are led by guys who have taken their lumps but potentially at other clubs. Right? These guys are motivated. They seem to be super well coached. They've been fairly consistent from the beginning of the season to the end. They've got firepower at every position. And all the things that I've said don't stand true for Miami, except for maybe the coach. Yeah? That is not going to get it done. Spo can't get more than 1 game out of this. There's no chance.
The only thing that I can see that could be a problem is that Donovan Mitchell could be the new CP3.
Maybe.
And against and do you see that?
But that means you'll get injured in 2 rounds time. You'll get injured in 2 rounds time. Round 1. Done, son.
There's that, and like we said the last time, you can't write Miami off. They find ways to surprise people. And maybe not 2 games, 1 game for sure they'll win in Miami. They might win 2 games.
Yeah, I see.
But I don't see them winning more than 2.
I see Miami winning 2 games. Yeah, that's my prediction.
1.5 games.
I think just having having Bam Adebayo,
win a couple of quarters.
I think they got the players and the coaching and the culture to win 2 games. I see that happening comfortably. Moving on, the Houston Rockets are very similar to the Cleveland Cavaliers in that they're playing against a super playoff experienced team in the Golden State Warriors. Even though Houston should win the series, statistically, but it's going to be very hard. It's going to be very hard for Houston to win this because having a playoff Jimmy and a playoff Steph, it's really starting after game 1. You mentioned this before we started recording, Kirk. Like, they won poorly.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
I'm an expert in watching teams win poorly because I support Manchester United. And this is the Manchester United of basketball. They look so good.
But they win.
They win ugly. I mean,
They win years ago. Both teams.
true. But they won last night. United didn't.
Yeah.
So I feel they were lucky to have opened up such a big lead in the first half because that second half, they struggled and they look. It's amazing. Like Golden State, we say Golden State are such an experienced team, but they, time and time again, they look so inexperienced in the closeout. The minute the pressure gets turned up, I don't know if it's because they expect to win or because they are so talented individually, they just feel that there's no situation that is like a pressure situation. They do silly things. They make stupid passes, one-hand turnover passes, and just like not something you'd want to watch what you'd want juniors to watch because it's just such fundamentally poor basketball.
Yeah. But pressure does that. Pressure does that.
You're right. But I think it's different.
Yeah.
I think they live and die by the sword.
Yeah.
They live and die by the sword. They live and die by the 3. They live and die by the 50-50 pass.
Yes.
Right? And sometimes it'll come off and they'll look amazing and they'll win a championship. and every now and then it won't come off,
Yeah.
and
That,
it'll be
that
painful.
must be because you can't tell
Painful.
me that a team that experienced will do the same dumb shit over
No,
and over and
no,
over
no,
and
no.
over again. Like,
They are confident it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It will happen for them. It's
Yeah.
entitled. It's entitled.
Yeah,
boss.
yeah. And they've got 4 rings to be entitled. Yeah. We've done it and it worked 4 times. We're sticking to this formula. But give me your answer because we've got a lot to talk about. Give me your answer. Are Golden State winning this after 1 game?
I'll throw in my overreaction here. I think Golden State in 7.
To me?
I think he's gonna win it.
Yeah.
I don't feel good about this
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
I don't
Also,
feel. I
some
don't
reason-
feel
yeah.
good. Can I tell you what I think was the difference in the second half that I think Ime found? He went big.
Yes.
And when he went big, and he
Yeah.
had Steven Adams
Yeah.
for a little bit looked like the best player in the court
Yeah.
for a moment, right? And then Sengun could bully his way a little bit,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden they had Jabari Parker,
Yeah.
who's also
He's
huge.
massive.
And the 3 Thompson played really poorly, and I think that's his rookie getting it out situation, and I think he'll find himself and be better, and Van Fleet can't be any worse.
I think Van Fleet is the type of player that can win you games. That's why I believe.
And he can lose you. It's like Westbrook.
Yeah.
It's like a poor man's
Yeah,
Westbrook.
yeah. I won't be surprised. I
Except he's
won't
got
be
a chip.
surprised. Yeah.
Yeah.
If Houston win it, I won't be surprised.
I'm gonna put I'll put Bureau on.
I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised if they win it, but I'd put Bureau on Golden State.
Okay, you?
Eh?
I mean, I lost money to fucking Golden State already. I might as well keep it.
Might as well win another one. Yeah. You go Houston?
I'm gonna use
Yeah, I'm also Houston. We got a bet.
There we go. I can win my beater back.
this.
Yeah,
I mean,
Okay.
Why is it always Golden State to be in the betting on?
Yeah. That's why.
polarizing.
And that's why I don't
Because
make
they
a
do
decision.
the sucks the way they do that.
Yeah. Second in the East is the Boston Celtics, and they played Orlando.
They played, it didn't matter.
They played.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Yeah. Paolo Banchero had a great game. I watched that game. He scored 34 points, but you can't do it alone. You can't do it alone, especially not against the Boston Celtics, who was such a complete team. There was one breakaway dunk, I can't remember what it was, and White blocked him. And having White as your premier defender in that type of team where Pritchard is hot, and you have like the 2 superstars, it's really difficult. It's really difficult. Paolo's at best, going to get great experience from this. But it's a 4-0 for me. For you?
I think as a team, that Orlando team will grow from this experience for sure. And they look like they are on a trajectory to compete, as long as they don't blow them up too soon, which is always the problem that might arise. But yeah, it's a Bism. Bism.
Start buying your Orlando jerseys now.
Yeah.
Because
Well, get your old ones out.
get your old ones out, get your pennies out, right? Because this team is going to be fire next year, right? It's Paolo is he's the face. France might be the engine, and their leader isn't playing at the moment in Sachs, right? Then they got Isaac, who looks like a center, but he's guarding 2s and 3s, coming off the bench. This team is young and they're long and they are huge. They just need to take some of their lumps, right? This is house money that they're playing with. Yeah.
Agreed.
If only the kids weren't a little bit ugly. A lot of the kids are ugly.
Their jersey is not hot.
Ugly. And that mascot, the dragon thing is poor.
What is their city edition? Is it also not lekker?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So you gotta take a look.
It's not lookable. Moving on, third in the West is the Los Angeles Lakers, and the most talked about series, the Lakers versus Minnesota Timberwolves. I liked game 1. I love the fact that Anthony Edwards came out super urgent about his impact that he wants to make. My favorite part of the game was actually at the end of the game when they interviewed him, is his look was one of complete understanding that I've done nothing yet. That's what I took. They did a little interview with him and McDaniels, and he just looked like a brother that understood, listen here, I did nothing. I've won 1 game. and we got a long way to go. And I like that. Often you can get too hyped in winning one game, which is to the detriment of your entire team. But this is a 7-game series for me. This is 100% a 7-game series. Timmy, your thoughts on Minnesota and their win?
McDaniels looked angry.
He did, man.
He looked
Whole
angry.
game.
Do you remember
Whole
why
game.
he missed the playoffs last year?
No.
He got angry after one of the games. And he punched the wall and broke his arm. Broke his hand. Yeah.
Wow.
He was standing there so that Ant didn't say anything stupid.
Yeah. yeah.
Ant knows better.
Yeah.
I loved the Wolves and how they played in that game. I think especially for a confidence team like that. And the Wolves are going to be a radio conference not. They are led by Ant, and the second place player, whether we want to admit it or not, is Julius Randle. When they are engaged and happy and confident, they are going to be an absolute handful. And defensively, they're organized by both Conley and Gobert at the back. They are properly. They are a more balanced team.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of the series, I said I believe in the Wolves because the Lakers just didn't have time to reorganize themselves around Luka. Now next season, I think whatever changes they're going to make, they're going to gear that team towards it. But I think eventually they're going to lose out to either a more well-rounded team or a bigger team. And I think the Wolves are both. Yeah, I think it's a bad matchup for the Lakers. I said at the beginning. And if the Wolves are playing confident, right, then I think LeBron and Luka are in real trouble. And so for me, it's a Wolves series, and then Wolves in 6 because if I go 7, it's hard to bet against Luka or LeBron.
Yeah. Do you think Minnesota can win it in 6?
Minnesota, with this man, yes. But I like what you said about that interview. I didn't notice that until you said it now, and you are 100% right. And I think we have Kyrie to thank for that because he spoke so much cack about Kyrie last year, and they came out big. I think they won game 1 or early in the series. They had a good run in that series, and they came out Vingat, and he was talking all the trash. And I think he's learned, and you're right. He's very focused. He's very, he knows what the program is.
Yeah.
Interestingly, for me, the moment of the series was at the beginning of the third quarter when they interviewed JJ. JJ came out, and he was so angry. You could see so pissed.
He was crossing.
But they couldn't even look at him.
Even into the interview, he didn't even say thank you. He was like, I think you should do it.
Okay, but what he said was so telling because he basically threw his players under the bus. He was like, they're not doing anything strategically to beat us.
It's not schemes.
It's not schemes. They're not doing anything schematically. In other words, they're not out coaching me. It's my guys that are fucking up.
And that's exactly what I took away.
But meanwhile, LeBron's like, you're not out coaching me.
But they were exposing his players because as much as Luka was going and isoing Rudy, Anthony was doing the exact same thing to Luka. They were isoing, and he was literally walking past Luka, one bounce, and he had him on his hip. There wasn't even There wasn't even token resistance from Luka. He was just walking past him all the time. Same with LeBron. I mean, they were hunting those two guys out, and the highlight play. It's so funny because on all the highlight packages, there's the highlight play of LeBron chasing down, getting the block from behind. And the very next 2 possessions, they blocked LeBron twice in a row. And I was like, so what's the hype about all of that?
You know what's the hype? Because he's the king.
But wait, I'm so glad that you brought it up.
Because he looked old in that game.
And a possession or 2 later, LeBron missed coming over. So it's fine to do it on a fast break. But in the half court, he missed his assignment to come over and help a couple of times. And he was just the one taking the ball out from underneath the hoop. Right? But it's a wonderful highlight. Completely distorts his actual defense on the night.
And that's what people see, and that's what people go like, oh, LeBron. But see,
I've watched so much games, so many games.
And you didn't see any of what we're talking about.
Let me tell you about LeBron James. This bruh, game 1, he was studying.
Oh, okay.
He was watching them. Let me see, what do they do if I do this? Oh, okay. When Luka does this, oh, okay. Oh, you switch it? Oh, okay. That's LeBron game 1. Watch game 2. Masterclass. Masterclass. Just watch. I've seen this so many times.
So that being said, it's an emotional feeling to not want to bet on LeBron, and it is something to say you can't count LeBron and Luka together off.
Yeah.
But it's an emotional sort of view at this point in time because statistically they haven't done anything. In the last 15 games of the season, statistically they've done a lot to discredit that sentiment. So if you look at the numbers, it doesn't look good. But emotionally, you feel that at any point they can just turn a game. And I suppose that's what Lakers fans are hanging their hopes on.
At any point, they can turn a game. Offensively, I don't think that there's any defense that you can consistently set up to stop them.
Yeah.
The thing is,
Defense.
they can't do that on defense.
Yeah.
And they can't play against, I just don't see how they play against a dominant big. Yeah. Even a dominant big, they just suck some teams in. So because they had to kind of go and rearrange their lineup, they had Rui guarding Ant as the primary defender, right? That's not ideal because Rui's like 6'10", and yes, he's strong and big, but there's no ways he'll ever be able to keep up, which means that you have LeBron kind of roaming, but they're only having Rui guard him because nobody else can. Right? Because he's going to be too big for wherever you're playing at point. If you're playing anybody at point, right, he's going to be too far. You don't want him in the Luka matchup or in the LeBron matchup. Austin Reeves can't do it, and so actually it's like, who are we going to choose? We're going to choose a guy we sometimes play at 5 to guard your 1.
Yeah,
guys.
Yeah. But that's the beauty of the matchups, man.
But also, the Lakers went a quarter and a half without fouling. Well,
I mean,
what the refs didn't call the foul.
Yes.
Like, I've spoken about this a lot, and I get very emotional about this. What's my gut, man? Preach, guys. So I understand that your franchises, your storied franchises, get the calls. But yes, for a team with Anthony Edwards, who was driving relentlessly, and a bunch of other guys that looked to penetrate, all they were doing was penetrating and kicking, and they were giving shooters spot-up shots. But at the same time...
And they went on to shoot 58%.
Because they were getting wide open shots, because the first line of defense was anemic, and they were beating that, they were collapsing, and they could pick their shooters. And because they were willing passes out of that, they gave guys wide open set shots and practice shots. But at the same time, when Edwards was driving, there's a lot of hands, there's a lot of grabbing, there's a lot of everything. And I mean, you can't tell me that bra is going to drive 10, 15 times to the basket and not get fouled once in the quarter. That's bullshit.
Time will tell.
Wait till I go play in Minnesota.
Yeah.
There's nothing will influence the ref like the ref you suck.
In the Eastern Conference, the New York Knicks ended up 3rd, and they are playing against
Detroit basketball.
Detroit Pistons. I like Cade in the game. I like that he's confident. It's his first one. Like some of the other matchups, I don't see Detroit winning. I think New York win this comfortably. But Cade Cunningham is like Paolo Banchero. They are hot for the future. They are hot for the future. Your thoughts on the Knicks?
To be honest, I don't care about this series.
It happens, It happens.
There's too much other interesting series for me to watch. Because A, I don't like the Knicks. And B, they're going to move Pistons. So I'll actually not. I'll wait for the next round to talk
about the Knicks. Yeah. But I'll talk about the Knicks when they play Boston. I don't waste my time right now.
Because they've done what they've done for the past 3 seasons and they've played well to get into the playoffs. If they get out of the first round, it will be something to talk about. But we'll see. I do like this Pistons team, though. They are another team to get excited about. But they play cut basketball, man. They it's basically give the ball to Cade and let's see what happens. I don't enjoy watching them. To be honest.
Timmy?
Now I feel like anything I say.
I mean, John says I mean, that's just my thought.
One, I like I like the Pistons team because they're a good vibes team.
Mm.
Right? They're all rallying behind this young talent in Cade. They're doing it differently to Orlando. So they got Cade, they got Duran, and they got Thompson. 3 very, very, very young players. And they've put some B class experienced players with him. Right? In Beasley, in Tobias Harris, right? In Tim Hardaway. Yeah. And I think it's cool what they're doing. If you take a look at the things that they're doing off the court together, they are just a good vibes, good field team. They were terrible. I think they got the worst record in the league last year, right? And now they are fighting against the third spot in the East. I think that's cool. Kate's going to take his lumps. I think they'll win 2 games. Mainly because New York does some random stuff.
Yeah.
On the one side, on the other side, I love the New York roster. I love the lineup. They built smart. I don't understand why they're so inconsistent. It's weird because they should be in the same tier as Cleveland certainly. And if Boston hadn't won, like they should be there. They should be a dark horse to them, but they're not, and I don't get why. But if they pull off 4, like it wouldn't surprise you if they pulled off 4 tough games, right? And so they could be a little bit of a scare. They could take one of those teams to 6-7. So I'm interested in this because of the future and because if the Knicks can find something, right, they could be a threat.
I just realized why I don't like New York.
Because?
Cat.
You work on my nerves also.
I'm never rated him as a player that's going to take it to the prom.
But he won't. It'll be Branson.
Yes.
Oh, in this case, OG.
Okay.
My favorite series of the first round is the 4-5 seed in Denver Nuggets versus the LA Clippers. I smacked that series. The commentator said it best. It feels like a heavyweight match. That's what it feels like. You got this undeniable MVP who's trying to show you and remind you with every single minute of the game that he is the best player on the court defensively and offensively. They fired their coach, and I can almost feel the pressure on the team to do well. And it's lekker to watch. But they're playing against a LA Clippers team that have megastars. Megastars. James Harden is a previous MVP. Kawhi Leonard is a previous MVP, a champion who took Toronto to the finals himself pretty much. Gentlemen, Denver won it. They ended up winning game 1. I would love to see the Clippers win. I'd love to see the Clippers win. Just because I like their team. I like how they put together. I like the style they play. I like that Kawhi Leonard he scares me. If I'm the defensive team and Kawhi is about to take on, he scares me, which is why I like him. Kirk, you go first, bro. What do you see after game 1? How does the series go?
Well, that was a quiet game. That game went to overtime. But as much as these are 2 teams that can go all the way, there are 2 teams that are 1 ankle or 1 knee away from going nowhere. Because they both are heavily reliant on, the one is heavily reliant on Murray, who is hobbled, and he looks like he's going to get injured at any second. And we know about Kawhi. Kawhi can get out of bed and the season will be done. So, so that is my only concern. But I'm going to enjoy it while everybody's healthy and they're playing against each other. This is the most animated I've seen the Joker in 3 years.
And Kawhi.
And Kawhi.
He was arguing.
Yes.
Who's this guy?
Yes.
And maybe for different reasons, they both feel like they have an opportunity to do well. I think maybe Kawhi more so than the Joker. Because, we all know Kawhi's been struggling for the last 3 years to just stay on the court. And it looks like that Clippers team is in a moment now that can really carry them deep into the playoffs.
Assuming
Westbrook does
relative health.
Yeah.
Who do you have?
I don't know. It was such a fucking tough question.
No, it's
Man, whatever answer you
It's so
give, you're not
close.
gonna feel good about it.
it's so close.
You're not gonna feel good about this. You're not gonna feel confident. It's not a lock.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
when I say I love the Clippers to win,
So you're
my
hoping.
heart,
You're hoping.
my heart
You
knows.
hope the Clippers win. is
It's
what
like
you're
you feel
saying.
about the Lakers.
This guy, you see, the world loves LeBron and they hate LeBron equally.
I would want the Clippers to go through.
You pick.
I think the Clippers are gonna go through. I have a real affinity
Yeah.
to the Nuggets. I love the Joker. I've got a money top.
Yeah,
I dig Gordon.
Yeah.
I'm a Westbrook fan.
yeah.
I am. I dig the dude.
Then why didn't you accept my trade for him?
Because in my heart, I want him to do well. In my head, I probably know he's going to do something dumb. Yeah? And so, in watching the last game, I was conflicted, right? Because I saw the Clippers up,
Mm.
and even though I said I thought the Clippers were going to win the series, I was getting
It's
excited.
weird, man.
I was getting
Yeah.
excited about the Nuggets coming back, and then they won. I was like, yeah! Oh, that fucks up my yeah. But look, I think Joker is head and shoulders better than everybody else.
Mhm.
But then if we were all just picking,
Mm.
right? And we said, cool, let's do a little draft of these two teams.
Mm.
Right? We'd go Joker. We'd all go Joker.
Yeah,
And then we'd all go Kawhi.
yeah.
And then we'd all go Harden.
Harden.
And then we'd most likely at this stage we might separate, but we'd probably all go Zubac. Right after that. And when you have a series like that where play the second, third, fourth best players are all coming from one team, right? Then potentially there's an argument when Norman Powell is the next best player. That
Just I'll go Mario over Powell.
For sure.
I mean I'd like to. I'd like to, but there's nothing this season from a stats perspective or Murray's this season history. Right? That says he's
Current form.
yeah. He's
We're
probably
assuming health.
even health wise. He hasn't been good. He has been mediocre at best. Whereas Powell, there was talks about Powell being a potential all-star.
Yeah.
Right? Realistically, if we just took the body of work this season,
Mm.
right, or just the body of work of the last 20 games, right? Anyway, and that's odd. Joker is pulling that team across the line,
That's what it feels like.
and I don't know if that makes for good basketball going forward in the playoffs.
Yeah. What I really liked about the game was that Porter Jr. didn't play a single minute.
I wonder if they told him not to mention.
him. You don't like him.
The coach went completely away from him,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
which was
You see, that's what happens when you disrespected the assistant coach all this time. Then the brother become a head coach. And you look at you didn't listen to me. Let me show you game one of the playoffs. Zap, bench. Moving along. The final series for us to chat about is Giannis and the Bucks taking on Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers won game one quite convincingly and very similar to Orlando, where you got this one brother trying to do everything. It looks like it's Giannis versus the Pacers, which never ends well for the team that relies on one guy. Giannis is going to do what Giannis does. He's going to give you 35 plus points, all the rebounds, he will assist, but he can't do it alone. Tammy, let me start with you. This is a can go anyway type of series. I feel Indiana are just a better, more complete team, and Indiana should win it. How do you feel?
I think you said it perfectly there. I think they're the more complete team. I think that the Bucks have also just hit Indiana when they've caught flame.
Mm.
All the pieces, all the injuries, all of it seemed to come together all at exactly the right time at the end of the season. Halliburton was up and down, when he's up, that team is amazing, and he just happens to be properly up at this stage. They had lots of injuries throughout the season. They sort of supporting cast, Nimart and the like. They came back. Mathurin started to eat some really nice confidence. And what is different between them and Orlando is that last year they went to the conference finals. Last year they took some lumps. They got some really good experience in this space. Them winning game one, I think, was massive, and doing it comfortably. I think Giannis is good enough to single-handedly win one game. I think that the Bucks could probably pull out two. I think that if Dame was around, it would have been very different.
Yeah.
Apparently, they say that he might come back even at the end of this
Yeah.
game two. I mean, that's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
He had the blood clot. That happened to Chris Bosh. He retired. It happened to Wemby. They shut him down for the season. Right? There's got to be some nervousness there. If Dame plays, then they'll definitely get 2 games. Still, that Indiana team, again,
They're fast, eh?
they played fun basketball.
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
They
they
are
play.
fun to watch.
Yeah.
They did well last season. It's all coming together at the right time. I think that if you put money on the Bucks,
The
I
odds are
don't know
high,
why.
Yeah. Even you'd be like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk to me, Kirk. Yeah, Indiana plays such a beautiful, fast-paced game. Halliburton leads that charge. They grab rebound. They get the ball out running.
Game.
Yeah.
Series I don't care much about. to be
Another
honest.
one.
Yeah. Well, I like
Because whoever who
Giannis.
comes out of this, he's gonna lose in the next round.
Yeah.
I really like Giannis, but I tried to figure out why they struggle against the Pacers, and it's a strange matchup thing because I suppose Bucks have Giannis, Brooks, and then
I thought you were Portis. Not Bobby. Okay.
and then a lot of small people.
Yeah.
And I think that matches up well with Indiana, Indiana's undersized guards are good and they are quick and they are defense first type of players. So they can lock your perimeter down, and then you've got Toppin, Turner, the 2 others, Siakam and the 4th guy who's also quite big. And between
Turner.
the 4 of them, they can sort of manage Giannis and contain them. So I think that's the matchup problem that that Bucks are having with Pacers. And the Pacers are just a super confident team at the moment because they made the conference finals last year, right? And even though they got beaten by Boston,
Doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter.
They got all the way there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they like their chances again this time around. I don't think even Dame coming back is going to give them much hope because Dame hasn't been fantastically amazing in Milwaukee. He struggled to find his place. And when you got Brooks taking shots ahead of you, it must make what on your head.
Yeah.
So I'd be upset. If Lopez is taking a shot ahead of me.
Yeah.
Weird side question. Who is Sacramento Kings' point guard? The Kings' point guard.
Is Zach Levine, DeMar DeRozan?
So who's their point guard?
I don't know.
And how wild is that? Right? We don't know. 2 years ago, they had both Halliburton and Fox.
Yeah.
And now they've got, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to look for ways to feel better about the Mavs.
How are you going to link that?
Oh wow.
But we were talking about Halliburton, how amazing he is.
Explain to me.
And they put him on a postcard and they shipped him away.
Yeah, shame. But it happens.
Wild.
It happens.
It
bro.
happens.
It's actually the same thing with the Clippers.
Yeah.
Clippers shipped SGA away, and now he's the MVP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the beauty.
Wild.
That's the beauty of sport, man. You just don't know.
Teams do dumb
Just
shit.
don't know. Yeah.
Some dumber than others.
Yeah. Gentlemen, thank you. This was a lekker episode. We're gonna try to do this a little bit more often than we
what
have.
year do we have going here?
Right.
Golden State losing.
Right.
Golden State losing.
Yeah. So I've got money on Houston.
You and me both.
Yeah.
You and me both in Houston. Is that it?
Looks like it.
Okay.
Looks like it.
We picked a team that was already one down.
Damn.
I mean,
But I've been making
you're
bad
being a
bets.
champion.
I've been making bad bets actually.
Sure. I don't know. I don't feel warm and fuzzy about that one.
There you go.
Is there not another one we can do?
Azai.
Thank you, sir.
We paid.
I'll throw in a complimentary Guinness because Boston is going to win the title.
That's it for the show, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Let the playoffs continue and may the best teams win. LeBron James.
In 5, I wish you guys many sleepless nights this week.
Wait. You don't put a wager on the Lakers, sir?
No, the Lakers are winning.
So do you want to beat it?
Yes.
Wolves over Lakers.
Wolves over Lakers.
Thank you. Di, I got my beer so. Because I'm on. I should do a shed and shop. Nah, not 5. Lakers in 7. Lakers in 7. Cheers, Owens.